Hello and welcome. My name is Yvette Acevedo. I'm a realtor with Honest Real Estate in Philadelphia. I also serve Bucks and Montgomery counties. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're trying to figure out who to work with when planning your next real estate journey, whether that's buying or selling, then this video is for you. I'm going to give you 5 questions to ask when interviewing realtors. Now, everything I'm going over today will be useful to both sellers and buyers. Of course, there are specific questions depending on what it is you want to do, but a lot of it overlaps. Okay, so that's what I'm going to cover with you today. Before we get started with the questions, I want to go over a hot topic and what factor you should pay attention to overall during the entire interview process. Okay, so let's get to it. Should you hire someone you already know? This is something a lot of people have trouble navigating, and that's understandable because everyone knows a realtor or knows someone who can make a recommendation. But in my opinion, even if the realtor is your best friend or a close family member, you should never feel obligated to work with them without exploring your options. Now, by no means am I saying that you should never work with someone you already know, but what I am saying is that the relationship should not be the main reason for you to hire them. You have to think about, like, if they slack off, are you okay with releasing them from their duties? Firing them? But who knows? They might do a great job because they care and love you so much. They're going to work harder than usual because they want the best for you, and it could go either way. But the best thing to do is to be upfront on how you intend to keep it professional and let them know you love them, you care about them, but you don't want to cause any hard feelings either way, whether you choose them or not. I recommend interviewing 2 or 3 realtors. I know this might be a very difficult conversation for some people to have, but you can't ignore it. Imagine the tension of not having it. Imagine what that could potentially cause around the holidays. It's going to be very awkward. So let me help you get the conversation started. Something as simple as saying, hey, I'm selling my house or buying one, and I'm interviewing a few agents. Let them know that they're not the only one you're talking to. Give them an opportunity. Say, would you like to sit with us and go over what you do? Or can you make a recommendation because we're not comfortable talking about our finances with you? Buying or selling real estate will most likely be one of the most important financial transactions of your life. Do not let emotions get in the way of making the best decision for you. Just be upfront from the very beginning. That way you can all be on good terms. And if your realtor friend or family member does not agree and they don't want to be on good terms with you, at least you know you did what you had to do to support the relationship and still move forward in whatever it is you want to do. Okay, one more thing before we get into the questions. You should definitely consider the qualities and characteristics of the person you want to represent you. Be mindful of the tone and the body language they use when they're talking to you. Okay, are they sincere? Are they asking you the right questions to get a better understanding of what you need? Do they have a genuine interest in learning about you? Or are they egotistical, mainly talking about themselves? Or do you find yourself repeating yourself over and over because they're not paying attention to what you're saying? This should be a 2-way conversation flow, and you just know if there's a misalignment. Trust your instincts. In my opinion, it's a red flag if the agent is focused on themselves most of the time. I wouldn't want to be just another transaction for them. Your next move is going to affect everything in your life, okay? It's going to affect your family, future goals. Everything is interconnected when buying real estate. So the person you're working with should have a genuine interest in understanding enough about you to help get you what you need. You're going to be in constant communication with them for a while, okay? Depending on your market, it could take at least 30 days before you go under agreement and another 30 days by the time you get to settlement. So pay close attention to their energy because your intuition is going to give you signals on whether they have the qualities and characteristics you're looking for in someone to represent you. Now let's get to the questions. Now, question number 1, are they a full or part-time realtor? This is important because real estate's very time sensitive. You don't want to miss out on any opportunities or miss a deadline due to delays in communication. Okay, even with the best of intentions, it's going to be very difficult for an agent to keep up and make sure everything is going smoothly if they're sneaking in updates during their break time. Okay, and full-time realtors can also provide not only better communication, but they also have a more thorough understanding of the local market because they have time to do their research. Question number 2, how long have you been in real estate? The longer they've been in the business, the more experiences they have with situations you cannot learn from taking a class or reading a book. Real estate can be kind of crazy and very unpredictable sometimes. The most random things pop up. Ask them about their most challenging situation and what they did to resolve it. This will let you know how serious they are about providing service and value, and it's also a good way to see how creative and resourceful they are in finding solutions outside of the box. It also takes time to develop relationships with reliable and trustworthy professionals to help make the transaction go smoothly. A seasoned agent's network is vetted by the experiences they've had, compounded over a long period of time. So working with these people that the agent is familiar with is going to help get you what you need. Question number 3, what is your area of expertise? Knowing what the realtor specializes in is going to help you understand where their focus is and the type of experience they have. A lot of agents do different types of transactions, and there's nothing wrong with that, but depending on the type of property or unique situation you're in, someone with experience in that specific area might be better suited to help you as opposed to someone without that experience. For instance, an investor looking to buy multifamily property will be very different from someone using a 1031 exchange. Or if you're relocating from a different state or country, you're going to have different needs and a different timeline than someone buying locally. Or if you're selling a property through probate court or a short sale where you need to sell your property to buy one, every transaction is different. They're going to have different elements, different required disclosures, and the person you're working with is going to need to be very familiar with everything to serve you throughout the transaction. Question number 4, what's your process? You're going to want to know what to expect when working with them. What is their process? What system do they have in place to best serve you? You're going to ask questions like, how are showings going to be scheduled? How are they planning to go over documents with you before you sign them? Now, if there's anything that conflicts with what you're looking for in an agent, this will be a good time to see if there's any flexibility in the way they work to accommodate you. Setting expectations about the process up front will make everything go so much smoother. Question number 5, why should I hire you? This is a really good question. It's probably one of the most important questions you could ask the realtor because it gives the agent a chance to express what they do differently to stand out from the competition. You're going to want to look for genuine enthusiasm and listen to see if they have a clear understanding of their role in your real estate journey. You're going to want to make sure that they were listening and paying attention to you earlier and hear them match their skills up with what your needs are. Like, how and why are they the best person to serve you? Well, you made it towards the end, okay? If you made it this far, you're probably in the beginning stages of planning your next real estate journey, which is probably going to be the most significant transaction of your entire life. You need someone who can confidently negotiate and represent you in a way that they themselves would expect to be represented if they were buying or selling their own house. Don't settle for anything less. That's all I have for you now. I hope you found value in what I shared today. If you did find it helpful, go ahead and let me know by typing helpful in the comments. Your input would help me create better content for you. Next week, I'll be going over the details of the buyer's brokerage relationship agreement. So hit that bell and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes, because being informed makes everything better. Till next week, bye.